In my last video, I had discussed my thoughts on the fact that Mortal Kombat 11's female characters have been intentionally toned down and that none of the female characters will have scantily clad armor since it's apparently unrealistic, and it really bothered me when they said that, since I think that the female characters have always had a very specific way of looking and that they're changing not only the armor and the outfits that they wear, but also the character models themselves, and I do not agree with those changes. But the art director of the game did say that, in quotes, "I'm sure that the changes will disappoint some fans. We do not have bathing suit fighters, and I think that's fine. If people are disappointed, I do not regret making that change by any means." And that was the part that really shocked me, and it shocked many other people, as well as he's disregarding the comments and concerns by fans. And of course, people are voicing their concerns for the future of Mortal Kombat, and I have even done that here on the channel with all of the videos that I have made on Mortal Kombat. I do not want the franchise to fail. Fans did end up going to Steam's community and discussion hub to chat with other fans, and moderators on Steam's forums decided to start locking the threads of discussion so that people could not discuss it anymore. And at this point, there have been right around 10 threads or so discussing the changes that have been going on with Mortal Kombat 11, and they have been locked on Steam's community forums, and it's caused a lot of problems with fans just trying to discuss the changes with other people that might feel the same way or even not feel the same way to get their input on the situation. And let me say, it would be totally different if they had closed all of the threads and directed the user posting the thread to the main thread for this topic of discussion, since that is the logical thing to do here, allowing users to have an open discussion as long as they are keeping it appropriate and not breaking any of the rules of the forums. But nope, we're not gonna do that around here. The main topic of discussion around all of these locked threads are very simple. They are discussing the fact that they have toned up the gore and the violence in the game, yet they toned down the nudity scenes and the outfits for female characters, and here comes the hypocrisy, yet the male characters are still very underdressed, and NetherRealms used the excuse of realism, saying that people do not fight in bathing suits, which a lot of fans have even said it would be okay if they covered up the characters more due to this reason, but the hypocrisy is so strong in the situation, and all of the male characters are shirtless, and some of them barely have anything covering their lower body as well. And that is one of the most frustrating parts of all of this. Yes, it is not good to know that the characters are covered up and changed, but it is even worse that they will half-ass it with this excuse and this one gender being one way and then the other gender being another. That is the part that is bothering fans, and personally bothering me the most in the situation, is that they didn't go for a solid art direction. They went one way for one gender and one way for another, and the fact that they're stating that it's due to realism and yet they're not following that, they are just doing whatever they want at this point. They didn't stick with a solid art direction. There is no reason to tone down character models, yet tone up the gore and violence. This game is bound to upset someone. Someone is going to criticize this game in a negative way. Stop trying to pander to groups of specific consumers that will not purchase your game anyway. That's the problem. If there is one thing for them to dislike and criticize, they will find another thing to dislike and criticize, even if you fix what they initially pointed out. The worst part about all of this is that the comments and concerns from consumers are being censored like this. It is further proof that the people creating the game do not actually care about feedback. They know what they have created and that the direction that they have went with, and they do not care if you like it or not. I want to know as a consumer my worries are being considered if other people have the same train of thought as I do. And obviously in the case of Mortal Kombat 11, they have stuck to their guns and they are just disregarding consumers and their thoughts and their opinions. Like I said in my last Mortal Kombat 11 video, with no consumers, your game does not sell. If your game does not sell, you do not get to create another game, and you do not receive a paycheck. How is that so hard to understand? Forums having specific topics and threads locked and censored in a way is a pretty new trend. They did similar things with Dead or Alive 6, they have also done the same things with games along the lines of Metro Exodus, where they lock and censor the negative comments, yet they leave and highlight the positive ones, and moderators of these platforms are just doing what they're told. I personally don't blame the moderators specifically, as some other people do. If one does not do it, another one will. Another one would, since this is what they are there for in a way. But a situation like this just adds to the fire of everything. It just adds to the negativity surrounding a game, and in this case, it's just unfortunately one that I love in a franchise that I hold dear to my heart, and that is Mortal Kombat. The game's community is in a very divided position, and it is not going to get better unless all of these problems suddenly go away, and I just don't think that is going to happen. You know, I just think that all of these problems could have been avoided very easily in regards to the changes to the franchise that people are so divided on. You could have just used the more covered up attire as their main outfit, but have more scantily clad attire as DLC or add-ons. Still would have been an option, and if it was sheerly cosmetic and the costumes of course did not give you any buffs or anything like they usually don't in these types of games, I think that it would have been okay, because it's a microtransaction, yes, but it is a microtransaction that does not actually affect the way that you're playing the game. It sheerly affects the way that the game looks. It's just a skin. It's not actually giving you any advantage. And in my personal opinion, I'm not as offended by microtransactions that are like that, sheerly because it is your choice if you want to purchase it, and it is not required to play the game. But unfortunately, I just don't see the situation getting any better with what the art director has said, with the way that NetherRealms and some specific employees, like I mentioned, have acted. I just don't think that the situation is going to get any better, and I hope that they do stop censoring these type of comments. I'm not sure if they will, but I do hope that they do. I hope that everyone gets to voice their criticisms fairly and equally, but you'll have to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on this whole situation with Mortal Kombat 11. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a like, and of course if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either which way. Please let me know if you plan on picking Mortal Kombat 11 up, or if you are waiting for hopefully some good news. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys again in the next one really soon.